Hello YouTube, this is Raphael here with another programming tutorial, and this time it is going to show you how to implement interstitial full screen advertisements onto your application. So I have done a video on this before, but it was a video on how to implement banner ads. So if you're looking for a tutorial on how to implement a banner advertisement, quickly check in the description below and my video will be linked in there. So for this tutorial, we'll be showing you how to implement a full screen ad into an application, and I will be teaching you some of Swift as well as we go along. So right here is Xcode. I'm using version 8.3.3 for this video, and we're going to click on create in the Xcode project. We're going to do single view application and click next, and product name is going to be add tutorial. Language is set to Swift, and devices is universal. You click next. And I'm going to replace, because I did a tutorial on this earlier, but it kind of failed, so I'm going to redo the tutorial. And on our device orientation, we're going to untick landscape left and landscape right. And the tick requires full screen. And now we have created our project successfully. Now for the device orientation, I am selecting portrait only because that is what my app is going to look like. But if your app is landscape view, or if it's upside down, you would untick any of these boxes, but I am simply selecting mine as portrait because that is what my app will look like. It'll be in portrait view in iPhone and iPad. Now we're gonna be implementing a framework. So what I mean by that is we're gonna be using Google Ads for this. So we're gonna go to Firefox or whatever web browser you have and search up Admob framework download, and we're gonna go over to the first link and click on it. So it should say Google Mobile for iOS, and download this package over here, which I already have mine downloaded, so I don't have to do a walk through that. And what we're gonna do now is implement our framework into our ad. So go to downloads and click on the folder, and we're gonna drag in our framework, and make sure this is ticked. That says copy items if needed. Click finish. And now that our framework's been implemented, let me just get my untitled document over here, this one. So we're gonna be copying and pasting this later on because this is too big of a code, and that'll be later. That'll be like right after we declare everything, and once we declare our interstitials and our IB action function. Now let's go over here to our build phases and just simply make sure that our framework has been successfully in, and as you see, it has been listed in link binary with libraries, so that means it is successful. And now we can get right into programming our advertisement. So head over to our main storyboard just quickly and drag in a button. This is going to say load advertisement, and resize that so it fits. And we're gonna bring up our assistant editor, so bring up this Olympic icon over here, bring that up, and we're going to add some space and control click and drag that in. And the connection is going to be action, type is any object, name is going to be do something, and event touch up inside, arguments is sender, and connect. And then we're gonna head over to our view controller.swift, and this is where we're gonna be doing our main programming. So here we also have another delegate to declare, and we need to import our Google mobile ads. So first things first, just underneath our import UI kit, we're gonna do import Google mobile ads, and over here on UI view controller, add in a comma and to GAD interstitial delegate. And then we're going to declare a variable. So do var interstitial colon GAD interstitial exclamation mark. And then in our do something IB action, we're going to space it out, and we're going to program an if statement later on. So just on our view did load, we're going to make some room and get rid of this entire comment over here. And what we're going to do now is do interstitial or whatever you called your GAD interstitial up here, So I called minus interstitial. I'm going to do equals GAD interstitial bracket add unit ID and 2 speech marks. We will be adding something here later on. We will add a unit ID later on. So simply leave this area blank as we'll add a unit ID later on. And then we're gonna do let request equals GAD request. Now this you can call it whatever you want to. I'm calling my request just to make it simple. And do interstitial dot load and then a request. Or whatever you called your GAD request. So that is what I'm typing in there. Now interstitial dot create and load interstitial 2 brackets and do interstitial dot delegate equals self. Now in our IB action, we're gonna add in an if statement to do if interstitial dot isReady. Now the code here, this will output an error for now. Do not worry about that. Just let it do its job, because that will vanish later on. And do interstitial dot present from root view controller. So this very first selection, and this will be self. And then add in an else statement. So else, and then per bracket parentheses. So this is an else statement, which will mean if the ad is not ready, print in our debug menu 2 speech marks ad was not ready. Right. So now that we got that out of the way, let's get our unit ID just in a few moments. Now over here underneath our IB action, we're gonna make some room. And we're gonna go to the text edit, and we're gonna copy and paste this entire thing over here. Right now, I got this from the Google website, so wherever you got it, this will also be in the description below. But if you want to head over to the Google website to copy and paste that, you can also do the same thing. Won't really affect the way you do this tutorial. And Command V to paste that all in. And now for this add unit ID, what we're gonna do is go and find a test ad. So I have a test ad over here. So to get over there, do test add Admob. And we should go over here and look for the iOS. There you go. Sorry, I added in the D by accident. All right. So the very first link is what we're gonna look at. So click the first link, and we're gonna copy and paste this. So it says bad ad format. Look for interstitial. This is important because banner ad is referring to ads that only takes a part of your screen. So if you have an interstitial ad, you're gonna look for the second one. Now here we're gonna go to our add unit ID and Command V and paste that in. And over here in our func create and load interstitial, we're gonna copy and paste that in as well. So make sure those two match exactly as you saw it in the website. Oops, sorry. Value of JD has no create and load interstitial. We will probably need to retype that in. So let me erase that and type it all in again. Interstitial dot load Ooh, sorry, I mean at the typo there. Interstitial equals create and load interstitial. So now that we have typed it in again, let's retry our ad. So let's see if that works out this time. Could have been a typo somewhere. There we go, build succeeded. So if you get that error, simply retype that in, and it might be fixed. In my case anyway, it is fixed. So if your simulator works, let me quit now. If your simulator now works, we're gonna head over to our simulators, and we're gonna go for the iPhone 7 screen, because that is the size of my main.storyboard. So that's the size of my storyboard over here. It was built for the iPhone 7 screen. So click play and let's test it out. So when we click on the button, it is what is going to pop an advertisement, and that means if it has successfully done so, we have successfully implemented a interstitial ad into our project. So wait for it to load. It can kind of take a bit. Here we go. So wait for the button to show up, which it will show in a minute. Now it will say load advertisement, and when we click on that, an advertisement successfully shows from Admob. It will say, "Nice job, you are displaying an interstitial ad from Admob." Right. So now when we click on it again, it will show up because we have added in an if statement over here, and it will say present in our view controller. So let's click stop, and if you have done everything right, and then you have successfully implemented your very own interstitial ad into your project. Now, one thing I have to mention, however, is that this ad unit ID is only a test ID. So if you were to submit this to the App Store, you would want to add in your real unit ID because you obviously want to earn money, and you wouldn't want to forget that. You can create a unit ID by simply going to by registering for Admob, and you can register and add in a banner ad or interstitial ad depending on what type of ad you're using. Then you should copy and paste the unit ID that is displayed. So other than that, it has successfully been implemented. You have added in your very own full screen ad from Admob, and so thank you all very much for watching. I will see you guys in the next programming video. Hit like and hit subscribe if this video helped you out. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.